Good day, everyone. Today we begin our digital biography of Dr. Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal is the most famous important national hero of the Philippines. His talent was a polymath, which means he was talented in many areas, including writing, medicine, and poetry. His mission, instead of using weapons, he used education and logic to show Filipinos that they deserve better treatment. His impact, his books and poems exposed the unfairness of Spanish rule and encourages to Filipino to work together for change. Here, the turning point, even though he died for his belief, his death gave Filipinos the final push they needed to fight for their independence. Jose Rizal's early life and education. Jose Rizal was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna. He grew up in a principal family that deeply valued education and civic virtue. His first teacher was his mother, Teodora Alonso, who taught him to read at a very young age. He showed exceptional talent early on, eventually excelling academic at Ateneo Municipal de Manila. He began studying medicine at a University of Santo Tomas. However, to escape discrimination and gain better training, he continued his study in Europe, especially in Madrid, Paris, and Heidelberg. Rizal specialized in ophthalmology, eye care. A major motivation for his choices was a deeply personal one. He wanted to find a way to treat his mother's failing eyesight. Rizal's journey shows that his excellence wasn't just for personal gain, but was driven by a desire to help his family and overcome the limitation faced on his countrymen. Rizal used literature as his primary tool for change. His two most famous novels, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, were powerful indictments of colonial abuses, corruption within the church, and social inequality. These books weren't just stories, they were a wake up call that sparked a desire for reform among the Filipino people. Beyond his writing, Rizal was a dedicated activist who believed in nonviolent change. Number one is propaganda movement. He advocated for peaceful reforms such as equal rights before the law, freedom of expression, and Filipino representation in the Spanish government. And second is La Liga Filipina. He founded this organization to promote national unity and civic responsibility. Rizal works emphasize that education and civic engagement are the most effective ways to transform a society. He showed that real progress comes from a united people working towards a common goal of dignity and justice. Rizal was exiled to Dapitan for 4 years after being executed of writing anti-Catholic and anti-Spanish materials. Far from being a quiet prisoner, he transformed the community by education, establishing a school for local boys, medicine, practicing as a ophthalmic surgeon for free, engineering, designing the town's first water system and lighting, and lastly science, discovering three new species of animals like the Draco Rizali flying lizard. And the trial and death in 1896, Rizal was arrested on his way to Cuba, brought back to Manila. He was falsely accused of leading the Katipunan Revolution and found guilty of rebellion and sedition. The final words of Jose Rizal is on the eve of his death, he wrote his famous farewell poem, Mi Ultimo Adios, and the execution on December 30, 1896 at exactly 7 a.m., Rizal was executed by firing squad at Bagumbayan, and now called Luneta Park. My And why it matters. Rizal's death did not end the movement. Instead, it fueled the Filipino people's desire for independence, making him the ultimate martyr for national freedom. Jose Rizal's life and literary works serve as a primary catalyst for the Philippine struggle for independence, rather than calling for immediate physical warfare. Rizal championed reasoned reform and national dignity, providing the Philippine Revolution with its moral compass. The three key pillars of his influence are intellect over violence. The slide emphasized that Rizal confronted colonial oppressions through his writing and ideas. He believed that a nation must first be worthy of its liberty through education and ethical foundation. The second is ethical leadership. His commitment to integrity and nonviolent resistance remains a standard for Filipino leadership today. Lastly is shaping national identity by articulating the grievance of the Filipino people in his novels Lo Limitagare and El Filibusterismo. He helped forge a unified sense of identity among a formerly fragmented population. So the significance of this is today Rizal is more than just a historical figure. He is a symbol of patriotism. His legacy serves as a constant reminder that ideas and the power of the pen have the capacity to transform society more profoundly than force alone.